Welcome back to another Badass 2000 episode, and today we are pulling the oil pan once again for reasons you will soon find out why.
Why, Peter? Why? Why are we doing this?
Because I put too much silicone on the oil pan? No, no. That is not it. We are back at it once again, trying to get this motor into our chassis, and we should have dropped the subframe long ago because that's probably the fastest and quickest way to do this. But I seem to recall, or maybe I'm just being paranoid, there was one bolt that did not feel like it went in right when we put the subframe back up. So we don't want to risk having a whole mess of stripping that or dealing with issues. So I think pulling the oil pan off and putting the motor in without the oil pan and the valve cover will work, and we will show you that if it does work, then that is the way to install a transmission and an engine at once into the engine bay, because I don't think there's any other way to do this without cutting stuff up in the car. So I know there's probably 10 different ways to put this engine in there, like separating the transmission from the motor. But again, if you've tried to put this transmission onto the block, it's got a pull type clutch, which makes it very difficult. So I don't want to go down that road. It's never been cracked either. So there is a reason to our stupidity or madness. I don't know what to call it, Dave.
Madness is good. Stubbornness, whatever it is.
We're gonna make this work one way or another.
At least one last try here. All right, with the oil pan off, we have cleared this cross member from hell. And
by millimeters.
Well, not even millimeters. By smaller units of measure than that. And on the firewall, it's really tight too, but it looks like it's gonna go in. So all you have to do is take off the oil pan and the valve cover and the header and, you know, pretty much just strip it down to a bare long block, and then you're good to go.
We did it.
It only took 5 tries, Peter. It only took 5 tries. Removing the oil pan, removing the valve cover, removing a bunch of brackets. It's a nightmare putting this motor in from the top. But through sheer stubbornness, stupidity, and ignorance, 3 times over, we got this bloody thing in the hole. So I see the future of ripping many VTECs. All of the VTECs from here, out the exhaust, as we lap TMP in record time. But first, the all-powerful sauce. We're having a pro do it this time. Peter had his shot. Now it's time for the...
I know, now if anything happens, it's all you.
Well, except that this thing is so gummed up, it won't come out. That's not gonna work. All right, we're gonna have to go bareback on it. No protection on this one. We're doing it 80s style.
Oh, don't do it that way.
Just settle down, buddy. Just settle down. The finger knows the spec, Peter. Got the perfect film thickness on here because the finger knows. I'm gonna let you install it though, because you seem so comfortable and so happy into that car.
I feel like I'm in the salt mines working and then crawling out every time.
Back to work, kid. Get in the salt mines.
Let's show everyone where you've been living today.
Really for the last 2 days.
I pull myself through here.
It looks so comfortable.
Almost like
it's like a Cirque du Soleil show under
American,
here.
what's that called? Ninja Warrior?
Exactly, yeah, that is a Ninja Warrior move. It's finally time to put the valve cover back on, which means we're making real progress, and we've even put some tape on here to prevent damaging the back corner, which may in fact be covering damage that's already on there, but we're not going to show you that. We'll leave that up to you guys to decide.
No, that valve cover is mint.
It is mint. What you don't want to do is tear these
those like rubber boots around.
Yeah, the seals that go around the spark plug sleeves here.
Yep.
I've done that once or twice in my day.
Damn, this thing looks good with a red valve cover.
It does.
Our old one was black, but
Only because you
liking
insisted on the black, Peter. That was
I know, but I'm liking the red again.
That's all you. There we go. Oh yeah. Woo!
We're in the home stretch here.
Throw some of these guys on here. And I guess we gotta put coil packs in and all the wiring, and there's a bunch of stuff over there to do. And
No. We're in the home stretch. We're gonna do it.
hook
This
up
car's
the
gonna start
radiator,
soon.
put it in the intake.
It's gonna start soon. It's coming.
All
It's
right,
coming.
let's go. Well, my work here is done for the day. Valve cover's on, coil packs are in, heat shield's on the header.
closer.
We are getting closer. You've done a ton of work underneath.
Yeah.
Everything's buttoned up underneath
Yeah,
there.
we got the fuel system connected. All the wiring, I think, is connected.
Yeah, we're getting close. But I gotta run. I got parenting things to do. So you're apparently gonna keep chipping away at it?
I am, man. I'm gonna put in some late hours here, trying to get this thing as close to running as possible tonight.
Oh, maybe when I'm back next time, we'll get this thing started.
That's right.
Which will hopefully be at the end of this video.
Just finished installing the AEM intake, and boy, oh boy, does it look good. This is very reminiscent of the old S2000 when it was running mint. So I am done for today.
So DP, what do you think? I got a lot done here.
You did, you've been busy. I'm surprised to see the intakes in already, and man, it looks like it's ready to run, except we need to put a
Very
battery
close.
in.
Yeah.
I figured why not swap out this rusty old battery tray for this minty fresh AP2 one. It even feels lighter, just because it's not as corroded and full of garbage.
Maybe
so
that's it.
I think we're saving at least an ounce or two here. It's even got a nice plastic tray, and these are in much better shape.
Oh, they're like absolutely mint.
And of course, we managed to dig up the old, the old badass 2000 battery tie down. So I'm not sure we can even call this thing the badass 2000 anymore because it's been sitting around so long. It's like the dusty ass 2000, but
I think this is going to be called the Badass 2000 version 2.0.
is it?
Yeah,
That implies progress.
It
Peter.
is an AP2 now.
It's true. It is an AP2, although without ITBs, and we should maybe address that issue while we're here working on this mess. What do you think?
Yeah, of course.
We just felt it was time to revert to a simpler setup on this car so that it was roadworthy.
And one that's proven and runs well. Like
Yeah, we
the
did have
ITBs
issues.
were
We did have
finicky.
issues.
By all means, they're not a very street-friendly setup. They do make good power in terms of mid-range, but
Yeah, we
really
need what-
there was still a lot of tuning that needed to be done, and I think we learned a lot with the ITBs and kind of
did.
showed the audience that there's certainly a level of complication and, you know,
You got to be committed to that ITB
commitment. That's, I think, the
You have
best
to
way
be
to put it.
committed
Yeah.
You know, balancing them out all the time requires effort, and getting the tip-in behavior tuned just right, it takes a lot of effort. So you got to really be into it. And it's not that we weren't into it, it's just we have so much going on. We kind of want our Hondas to be low maintenance because that's what Hondas are supposed to be. It's time for me to experience that easy pour life, Peter. I think you've used one of these easy pour containers before, but I haven't.
I have, and I made a pretty funny Instagram video of it.
You got it
spilling
wrong?
it everywhere, yeah. I got a little too overzealous.
I do like how nicely packaged it all is. So, in theory, this magical little spout here should make it easier to pour it into the funnel.
Yes.
Without the glug issues that you would
That's
normally
right.
get. So, let's see how it goes. Wow. That is easy. I'm not making a mess, Peter.
I've got my new cooling system filling station set up here. I bought this on Amazon, of course. I saw Rui had the Snap-on one, and I definitely couldn't afford that, so I decided to give this one a go. I think it was like $70, and so far it seems to be working. Our cooling system has a bunch of vacuum in it, So theoretically, what this does is it sucks all the air out of the system and then will fill it up with coolant, and then there's no air pockets. So it's pretty brilliant in that sense, if it works right.
Yeah,
so we're gonna see.
Come
So
on,
now,
China.
let's see, here we go.
Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, it draws it in aggressively.
Yes, it does. The needle
He's having a
bounces
party.
around like
I
crazy.
know.
There is a full party going on here. Hey, listen, if it works, it works. So we'll see. I don't think I pumped it up
It lost
enough.
the jam there, PT.
It did lose the jam. Damn it.
Hmm.
Damn it. And I think that's because I didn't pump this up to like 20 HG. So after about 3 tries now, this thing is just not working for us. It has way too many leaks.
It does, yeah.
I even put an O-ring on here because look how loose this is. So when it tries to bring the coolant into the system, you can hear the air running out of there. There's another leak in the actual gauge itself. So I'm gonna call this a fail. So we're going back to the conventional way of filling this system and bleeding it.
The old poured out of a bucket routine, PT?
Who would have thought that this would be the case?
Foiled by Chinese technology.
Damn it.
Oh,
Thought
wow.
that would work. Well, I'm gonna go buy a Blue Point.
Yeah,
Rui still has the right idea of bleeding the system that way.
he does. But in the meantime, we've jacked the nose up in the air and we've cracked that bleeder on the front of the head
Yep.
to try to get the air out of the system the old-fashioned way. So let's pray to the VTech gods that this works. The moment of truth, PT. You ready to turn the key or what?
I am. All right. I think it's gonna take a little bit to get some fuel pressure into it, but
Well, let's find out.
let's see what happens, DP.
Sounds so quiet.
Yes, it does. I hear the fuel pump.
Yeah. What the hell?
We think our no start problem has to do with the immobilizer, that the ECU doesn't have the immobilizer out of the other car. I've just put in our original ECU from this car, and I can already tell the green light here turns off. So here, I'll show you one more time, but see that light? See
Yeah.
it's blinking? So before it was blinking when I was cranking, but now it's totally off. So theoretically, this should start. Oh, yes! Woo! It's on, man!
Back in VTech business.
Yeah, no check engine light either, so it is purring like a kitten.
So what are we gonna
Oh, yeah! Ooh, that sounds so good, DP!
do? Sound good.
Man, that after salvage is alive again!
Smooth running motor.
Oh, it sounds so good.
So yeah, that is it for this one. We'll see you guys again soon. If you want to give us some support, go check out our Patreon page. You can throw $1 or $2 at us. Help us resuscitating cars like this one.